we'll just do this together.
Yeah. Let's just jump into it. I like how you have kind of like that chill vibe going. So
here we go. All right, we're live. Let's make sure that you're up and running here, Bits. Let me send this stream out to everybody.
Yeah, let me know and I'll repost it. I'll get it shared out.
It's live, dude. It should be live. Here we go.
All right. Let me go find you. Okay, yeah, I see you. Yeah. Yo, does it let you edit that the title and hit an @ for me? That way it tags me in there. I think it'll get you some of my people seeing your stuff too. I don't know if it'll let you. If not, I'll just repost it. It's no big deal. But
here we go. I could repost it right now with everybody here.
Yeah.
1x. But we are live right now, guys. We got BitsofWealth. He's an excellent analyst. Becoming a good friend, man, in the space as I do these collabs with a lot of different traders, a lot of different spaces. His TA has been on point, guys. When I talk a lot about traders and, back testing a lot of things that people are talking about. And, he calls them a chart. What do you call him, man? A chart guy?
Yeah, I'm just a chart guy, dude.
Just a chart guy. But when we're testing out the charts, guys, I'm always saying back test everything that you're hearing and seeing, and find out the real ones. I've actually, as I enter into these spaces, becoming an influencer. I've been Wolf Crypto, Wolf Bitcoin. I've been introduced to a lot of different traders, and you know what? BitsofWealth is a real one, guy. He made an excellent call this morning. Actually, yesterday on Bitcoin's liquidity grab before we had the chaos today. And if you guys, as everybody's rolling in, make sure that you guys start checking out BitsofWealth. And let's repost this real quick and go for it, man. Give us a little introduction on yourself.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. Number one, dude, you got a great show going on. Like your style, man. And like one of the things you say a lot that really resonates is just like you say, you're just kind of keeping it real. You're just being transparent and just putting it out there, kind of like it reminds me of people that say like you're just documenting the journey. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
no, it's been fun, dude. And you've come up on those Wolf spaces a couple times, and then I've caught you on with Flopping Groper, right? I've caught you on his, I think he did like a stream with you and someone else. I can't remember who it was. You guys were on with him. And I just found that guy, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago. I'd never really heard of him. And then I discovered him and saw some of his TA and some of his trades. And I was like, all right, cool. He knows what he's doing. So yeah, just slowly. I mean, dude, it's a small world, man. You just start finding other people, and it's like you said, like you kind of initially got to take the time to really like vet people out and see if, if they really know what they're talking about, or if they're just kind of hyping it up. Cause there's, unfortunately, right, like with the YouTube influencer culture, there's a lot of guys that are just talking nonsense, and they really don't know what they're talking about, and they're just getting the engagement. And it's crazy, man, but it's hard to grow when you're not doing that. It's really hard to grow an account when you're not doing that, when you're just like giving like up only takes or down only takes, or only sharing like the highlight reels and stuff, So, but dude, I mean, I started trading. I started like, I guess, seriously trying to learn to trade like in 2018. It was probably like mid 2018. And then I spent a good like year to 2 years, man, just like learning and both in like, joining paid communities, taking classes, watching video content, doing one-on-one sessions with other people that, some of them, knew more than others, I guess. Some of them proved out to be a little bit more legit than others, but did a lot of that. And then a lot of just learning, paying the tuition, man, through just making mistakes, taking trades, trying different stuff, losing money, blowing accounts, did a lot of that. And, I came into crypto in 2017, and it was like probably, early summer, somewhere around there. Bought like my first BTC, bought some ETH, bought some LTC that year, maybe XRP, I can't remember. And dude, I top blasted like the whole way up to that like 19, 20K top, dude. I was watching this thing soar, man. I'd buy some and then it was up like, like thousands of dollars the next day. And then I'd buy some more and it was going up again, like a few thousand. I was like, there's no way this thing is just like going up vertical. And dude, I think the last buy I put in was probably like, 18, 19K. It was somewhere up there, like right at the top, basically. So I top blasted, had no idea what I was doing, and then watched that thing just collapse the year after, just completely roll over the year after. And dude, I was just kind of left with this like feeling of what just happened? Like what the heck just happened? How is all this money I was throwing at this thing now suddenly, significantly down? And so I started watching videos of just like other people that were, trading and explaining the cycles and liquidity and all this stuff. And I just realized, man, I didn't have a clue. I didn't have a clue what was going on. I needed to learn some skills. And that's when I kind of made that decision. So I spent a few years, man, and I threw a ton of money, man. It's well over six figures, but might be multiple six figures over a few years of just like learning, bro. And this is while I was working a full-time job. I worked with like a startup company in the food and beverage part of like health and wellness. And it was a startup company I worked, and dude, this was like full-time, it was like 12, 14-hour days, 24/7 on call. It was a startup, you're living with that company. That ended up going pretty well, though. The company ultimately ended up, getting into a partnership with Coca-Cola, was acquired by Coke later on, had a big exit, all that good stuff. So like it was a good company to work with and be a part of all that. But dude, I got obsessed with crypto and trading, and every minute that I wasn't tied up, working and doing other stuff, man, I was trying to get screen time in front of the charts, dude. So I just became obsessed, man. I became totally obsessed.
So I love what you said, man, because one of the things you said for sure is that what got you into crypto is that this thing was going up thousands of dollars daily. It was going up. And I remember that time, man, 2016, 17, going into 18, man, that, when I tell my community, the reason I got into crypto is it's for me personally, I'm not in it for the decentralized savior. I don't know if I'm going to be around that long. I know my kids will, and I'm teaching them right. But I one thing that you definitely said, man, is that these markets are going up thousands, if not tens of thousands a day, and they're coming down tens of thousands. And you know what's really cool is that there's people that were making money. That's what really intrigued me, that when we see a 10, 15, 20% candle, that there's freaking people that are actually benefiting from this, learning how to have a structure, how to have a disciplined mindset, the psychology behind these things. And that's the second thing I wanted to say is that the lesson throughout the last 2 days has been don't interfere with the process. That with day trading in these markets, we got to have a clear level head. We cannot deviate. We cannot be hopeful, because hopeful is not a strategy. And the only person that can interfere with us making money in this market is ourselves and our emotions.
100%.
And so with that being said, man, I'd like to know with your strategy, the way I'd love to show the community real quick that let's go over here to BitsofWealth, and I'd love to show the call that you just gave, because it was killer, dude. I mean, you had it. Before we got to the stream, guys, Bits was telling me that his strategy, you guys know me as a scalper, using altcoins to Bitcoin, but he really loves his strategy, sweeping liquidity and playing those pockets. And that's where he makes his bread and butter. So let's look at his call real quick. And this was just the other day. This was just literally the other day here. And let's see if Bitcoin can find a bounce here. And he was literally calling it. He reposted it, guys. It was beautiful. That look, again, played it out the day before. And again, when I tell you guys to follow the real ones, back test what you're hearing, what you're seeing, what they're telling you, guys, everything is on the charts. They don't go away. Once a candle is printed, it's there forever. And so, again, you can see the call was given. And, again, we're not call groups. We are not call groups. All we could do is give out the information. So there's no You know, no surprises when the price gets there. None of us fucking know when what's going to happen. I mean, obviously the price could have blown straight through, but again, we're sticking to the plan, we're sticking to the strategy, and we're walking through it. You guys can see here, price came down, absolutely hit that liquidity sweep, and bang. This morning we had the God candle. We had the God candle. It was an amazing trade. Short-lived, obviously, because again, today we were kind of like, damn. I know that Nat and a handful of others inside of the Wolf Bitcoin, we were talking about the $80,000 getting sweep, $85,000 getting sweep, which I do think we'll go into some TA, and I'd like to see what you think, man.
I'll pull up a chart.
And but again, guys, the amazing trade. Look all the way through. I'm a big person on P&Ls. Guys, I show my losses, I show my wins, I show my accounts. I mean, ain't scared of shit, dude. I'd call me on my bluff. But 50x leverage, guys, 200%. This is a real one. When we can look at the chart, we can see the position taken, we can see everything just followed through. An amazing trade.
I appreciate that, man.
Bits. And,
dude, I try and keep it pretty simple. I really got like 1 or 2 setups that I play. I'm not like the most sophisticated analyst or trader. I've learned like a couple things that work pretty well for me, and I kind of wait for them. I know how to identify them pretty well at this point. And I play those over and over. And sometimes it sets up and I take the trade. Sometimes it doesn't set up and I go to the next one, you know?
Yeah, no, and that's all we could do, man. Is just continue to keep the setups. We won't be surprised when price action comes to us. And that's another lesson, man, is that there is no need to force price action, no need to force a trade. Let it come to us, and we can only trade when the market permits. Otherwise, sit the fuck out, dude. You're gonna be blowing through accounts. You're gonna be, I would sit on the, and you know that's the other thing that I was saying too. And I think you were liking it on this one too, man. Was let's look at here. An unchanged account balance is a successful day. I mean, capital preservation comes first. I consider that a win, guys. On days that are so choppy like this, we had literally a pump and dump. We had the president talking later on in the evening. These are very, 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 very volatile interactions with the market that can just trash your trades, guys. Absolutely trash your trades. If you want bits, I just tagged you onto the I just tagged you, man, onto the Scalp N Chill with BitsofWealth.
Yeah, dude, I shared it out. I got it reposted. I threw it up on my page as well. So maybe we'll get some of my community and followers and friends jumping on here with us. So
I'm reading some of these comments out here, man. We love the story that getting into these markets, dude. And I think every single one of us, we initially get in, and same with my story, dude. Lost well over 6 figures, learning, didn't give up, and then finally realized that this market, dude, is not subjective. There is a set of rules for every market. If you're going to trade, it's just a flat out set of rules, dude, that we have to participate by, or you are going to be gambling and you're going to consistently lose. And that's the worst part about it.
Well, dude, they say what, like 90% of people that get into trading end up failing or losing money in the beginning, right? It's
I
like
think it's higher than that.
Is it higher than that? Is it like maybe
it's
95?
Higher than 90%.
Maybe higher?
Dude, I tell everybody, dude, that you know what? Trading is an art. It is not about the money. It is all about the process. How well can you manage that process, and how well can you not interfere with that process? Because our emotions run
100%.
So many different things that'll deviate from what's right. And being a robot, dude, is almost a must. The same thing every single day, but with higher probabilities and higher confidence, and it has to be that way, dude. And every trader that I've ever studied says the exact same thing. First year or two, they're blowing accounts. You finally start catching some ground. You think you know it all. You blow the account again because you
go through the win streak for a little while. You think you're hot shit. You figured it out, and then you get humbled. You realize you don't know anything.
Totally humbled, And then finally, dude, you start
Yeah.
taking it slow and you
Yeah.
start working that confidence with consistency. Start remembering what works. Start remembering the rules. You do not deviate. Everything starts coming into check. And out of nowhere, dude, you start having yourself a bag.
Yeah.
You know, it's good to hear another real trader, man, that's gone through the sticks, busting it out for his community, teaching his community, and actually making it happen, dude. Because again, trading is an art. It
Yeah.
really is
It's
an
hard work,
art.
bro. It's hard work. It takes a lot, man.
And so, if you want, man, let's I've done a ton of Bitcoin analysis today. I'd love
Yeah.
to hear your take, dude, on what we got going on right now. If you
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
share your screen.
Yeah, I'll pull up a trading view. Yeah. Show you kind of what I'm looking for. Let's see here. Move that out the way. There we go. You should be able to
Add the
see
stage.
that trading view. Yeah.
Here you go. All you,
Cool,
man.
man.
Stage is yours.
All right, brother. Yeah. So most of the way that I trade now was influenced by a mentor of mine that he spent, he's got like maybe 20 years or something like that he's been trading US markets. He's done really good with like futures. And so I kind of adapted some of that to crypto. And that's basically how I'm trading, is like really based on like how futures traders look at liquidity. But essentially what I do, man, and I'll break it down real quick just for you and for anyone that's watching that maybe isn't familiar with how I trade. But I like to look for like the high time frame zones, man. And for me, what that means is I go to the weekly charts and I use this volume profile, right? So I use the VRVP and I look for zones where there's like gaps in the volume profile. And I'll show you in a minute. I don't know why it's like not here. Let me see. Where's my
It's
VRVP?
the time frame, dude, that you're on, because it's a weekly and it's not popping above or below for that.
Yeah, but usually it does though. Yeah, usually it's a little wider, but here I'll zoom in a little more and it'll populate it a little better. But yeah, I like to come in here and I kind of find like my high time frame zones, right? And so I do it based on where these gaps are. This is probably a pretty well-known strategy. I don't really know. I learned it from this mentor of mine. And you look for these like areas where there's these pockets on the volume profile, and I like to mark those out. I like to mark them out. I find for the ones that are significant and line up with like maybe some price action or some pivots, and I mark them out. And then when I'm trading on like a 15-minute, or if I'm on a 1 hour, this like background of having like a red or a green backdrop, it just kind of gives me a bias of, do I need to be maybe looking more for longs, or do I need to be looking more for shorts, right? So that's kind of why I set up like this these big zones. And then aside from that, I really just look at what the general trend is. And like I like to go to the daily and just say, okay, are we trending up or are we trending down, right? No debate about it. We've been coming down since October. And even all of this chop here, like it's still, there's nothing about this downtrend that's, in my opinion, been invalidated yet. We're hanging out here like in this 90K zone that, is still, I would argue, potentially a high time frame support. I don't know that we've gone far enough away from that zone for me to say that it's now resistance, but we are getting some gnarly rejections off of that zone here. So it might be time to flip that zone red. I think I'm just kind of hanging on to like giving it every opportunity it can to get a pump up here. And mainly that's because, man, like I'd like the opportunity to take another short from some kind of move higher, whether it's just here to like this 100K or if it comes back up to like 106. I'd love to be able to slap it back down somewhere up there. So
because you use that volume profile, let me ask you something, man. This is my first cycle where the heat map has been the God map. And I'm like, I've never,
as far as like liquidations, right? Like liquidation.
Yeah, as far as liquidations, but this, it wasn't around in 17. It wasn't around in 21.
Yeah.
And now everyone is using this, and I think that it's one big massive trap. You're looking specifically at that heat map instead of that volume profile that you're looking at, because again, those positions can be just taken off the books, for one.
Correct. Yeah.
Two, they could either be just they could truly be liquidated, or they're just closed out. And And so how do you feel about the heat map with your original strategy? Because again, this is my first cycle where, dude, I've seen so many people using this freaking heat map. I mean, you're using it as an indicator on TradingView, the VPPR. You're this again. What do you think about the actual heat map, man, compared to your strategy now? They're very similar,
They're
but do you
similar.
believe that?
Yeah. See, I like the visible range volume because this whole thing is built based on the candles that are basically playing out on the screen, right? And if you're like building your zones, your high time frame bias based on like a daily chart or a weekly chart, it's going to take a lot of price action to shift this volume profile, right? Like it's going to take a lot, like this gap here, for example, it would take quite a bit of sideways chop here in this gap to start to kind of close the gap and fill that in, right?
So real quick, just to the community. So the heat map is based off of APIs connected to the exchanges where liquidity and positions are currently sitting, compared to the volume profile on TradingView where candles are creating this volume.
Correct. Yeah.
Perfect. I just wanted to just let the community know the massive difference and why I think that, for one, the heat map is full of shit, because we could see a lot of these positions in these whales on Binance opening and closing and creating these liquidity pockets that everyone's trying, and it could just be a massive trap compared to the candles that are already printed and cannot be. Bitch just explained it. It would take a lot for these volume profiles to adjust.
Yeah.
Compared to active, current positions on the order books.
Mm-hmm. And look, I do think there's like a place for that heat map, but I think it's more like on the lower time frames as opposed to like, because you could look at it right on like because it lets you do like a 24-hour or a 3-day or like a weekly on the heat map, right? And some of those levels I think might stick, but I think you'd be able to kind of just look and say, okay, like down here where we had this big wick, right? There's a good chance there's quite a bit of liquidity down here, right? From number one, probably some trap traders that were trying to short this thing at the bottom of the entire move. You've also got people that were longing here that have all their stops, and all that liquidity is going to be sitting here. All the liquidations are going to be sitting here. So you can kind of like derive some of that just by understanding like the wicks and the candle structure. But yeah, I don't know that I like toss it out fully, but I do know, like, to your point, it can change from day to day. You can have a hot zone that suddenly is no longer on there, or it's less hot, So some of that stuff does change, bro. It does.
Perfect, man. And so when you get down to these positions, other than the volume profiles that you're looking at, and we get down there, to give you an example, I'm a big fan of Market Cipher. When we use this 12, 20, 1 hour, I am looking for my, for the VWAP, the RSIs, my money flow, and my momentum waves. And I'm looking for either a bearish or bullish divergence to understand on these time frames. Is this something that so to give you an example, Bits, I've only taken probably 5 or 6 actual swing trades the entire year.
Got it.
And my moves were based off of the momentum of Bitcoin. Bitcoin touched $100,000. Solana was stuck at $176. And I'm saying, okay, guys, Bitcoin just put in a new all-time high at 100 grand. Solana's at 176. It was just at 250s. Right. This thing's going to fucking rip. We need to take positions. And it was strictly based off of that momentum that Bitcoin was going to pull, instead of anchoring when it comes down, it's going to pull us. And during that month, I think it was in June, July, those were my swing trades. Again, my strategy, I normally take, I use these altcoins, I mimic them to Bitcoin. Bitcoin makes a 0.3 move. It's probably a 1.5% move on an altcoin. I can make those moves and make my daily bread. But I've only taken about 5 swing trades for the entire year. What is it strictly based off of the volume profile when we come down to these levels that you're going to be taking these swing trades, and the way you played out on the one we looked at from yesterday following in today?
Yeah. I mean, I would have to say I probably weigh the volume profile with like the most weight in terms of like where I make decisions, then I would say just the standard buy sell volume is like the next thing I really focus on. But yeah, like if I'm looking at a 2 hour chart, right, and I'm trying to say, okay, is there maybe a move that I'm going to enter somewhere down here that I'm hoping to get up here? I'm looking at the volume profile on that time frame, right? So I want to know where those key cracks are in the volume profile, because a lot of times, man, these do line up with like key rejection areas. If you were to like highlight these and just put like a horizontal line on some of these, right, price does tend to like come right into those, and you see that there's like a lot of confluence where it's like touching those points on the profile. But yeah, I'd say the buy sell volume combined with that, man. But the VRVP, it's like, to me, I almost feel like I'd be driving without, like without glasses or without the lights on if I didn't have it,
That's
Yeah, that's like my thing, man. Yeah.
That's the fucking, you're sitting on the plane, waving your hands, land, or get off, or take off. Or it's on.
Yeah.
It's on right now. All right.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. So let me ask you another thing too, man. I think that sell wall, just my personal opinion, I think that sell wall at $94,000 is the. I don't think that 108, 102 is the big number to squeeze anymore. It looks like it's coming down to 94 grand.
It might not, dude. It might not, man. It's had a hell of a time here, but yeah, like on the, like when I zoom it out some more, right? Like, and part of the reason that oh shoot, I didn't mean to do that. I hate that I do that when I got the drawing tool. Is I had a big channel on here. Now I like to use these fib channels. I'll show you in a minute. But I had a big fib channel on here. I'll have to see if I still have it.
The second big box that you have right there, dude, that big fib channel is coming down to that 76 to 78. And that's a massive macro 618 right there.
Let me see. Check that one out. Okay. So this is a fib channel I had thrown on here, right? And look, to your point, we are having a hell of a time trying to get back above the midline of this channel. And usually, like if you're going to go back across the zone, like, it's normal to have a little bit of chop here, but you kind of want to see a little bit more strength in this. This thing is having a hard time just getting back above the midline of this channel, right? But I like these fib channels, man, to kind of tell me like what the volatility is in terms of like a swing trade.
So what is that tool right here with fib channels, man? Because I don't see any of the
this one?
Yep. I don't see any of the levels. I'm a big fib trader, dude. I trade directly off of these fibs. I've learned it from Jason Casper the last 4 or 5 years.
Yep.
And I don't see how is that? There we go. All right. So every line I can see now. I understand. So every line's, you got your 0.5.
Yeah, I'm using it kind of as like a standard deviation for volatility. So I'm not really using it for fib levels. I've taken a fib channel and I've, and these aren't even my settings. It was like a group of guys that I was trading with that was going back in the futures market and just back testing these settings and other settings to find what gave you like the best like way to identify a volatility range for trades. And so really we just use this, like when I trade with the fib channel, man, it's not even really about like the standard fib levels. It's about just recognizing like when something's maybe overextended versus when something's like maybe just kind of cooling off. And
I can tell you, based off of that pattern right there, that fucker's hitting like a damn spider line to the T. I mean, look at it, dude. I mean, it's hitting pretty solid on the downside, almost to the wick, and it's hitting to the top side just a tad over based off of the wick. So
and it depends how you place it. Like if I drag it up a little bit, it moves it, but there's like a little bit of nuance in how we place this. So like if it's downtrending, right? If you're trying to find like a downtrending channel with these settings, I'll grab the recent wick on the recent swing, pull it back to a prior swing, and I want the wicks. And on the upside, I'm either trying to get the close of like a key swing high, or if there's a move that comes back up, I will grab the wick as like, sometimes that next move kind of tells you what the more realistic range is, right? But if it didn't have that, like I might place it up here on that close. But And
far
like you
as
said, it's more of
your
an art, bro. It's like, it's just you
yeah,
back test it and you find
You're
what works, you
adjusting
know?
it, and as you're
Yeah.
adjusting it, and price action comes to reality,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're adjusting, and you're saying,
Yeah.
oh, okay, this made sense of why it
Yeah.
bounced or why it's rejecting,
Yeah.
and you're adjusting those with your tools.
Yeah.
As far as your strategy, swing trading
Yeah.
is more your style of trades.
I
You're
mean,
sitting in these
I've been
things.
doing a lot of scalps lately, but yeah, I like the big moves that kind of go from either high time frame zone to high time frame zone, or they go across the channel. And that's kind of why I'm still like looking up here, because I'm like, man, if this thing can get back above the midline of this channel, sorry, like this is super messy, but if this thing can get back above the midline of this channel and we can get some support here, like if it made another push to the top of the channel, this is roughly where I'd be looking, and it happens to be right smack in the middle of these like two high time frame areas. Like you can look here, right? You had a lot of big rejections. When it got above it, you had a lot of support. So this is still a very big level for me. This like 106,
And
107.
based off of this, so me, because it comes down to position size.
Yeah.
Are you sitting in that trade for that long? And the
Sometimes
reason
I
I
am.
say
Yeah.
that, yeah, you are, because me, dude,
It's
I'm a greedy bust. Dude, I'm trading good sides, and if I'm sitting at 7,
yeah.
8, 9, 10, $20,000 worth of profit, brother, and one little squeeze back, and I'm losing 3-4 grand.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I'm out. I'm not. And then
Yeah.
I wait a week, and then I follow through with that price action,
Yeah.
and either two things happen. Either one, it was a hell of a good decision to lock it
Right.
in, or two, I'm readjusting for my next range. But
Yeah.
you're sitting in these trades. That's what my biggest problem was, dude, is that I've lost some followers because, again, I pride myself on the CryptoCrank radical scalp method. I'm a scalper. I'm taking
Yeah.
daily bread. We're waiting within
Yeah.
our time frame to trade, to mimic our altcoins, to Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But dude, on the swing trades, I'm not sitting in these things. So
Yeah.
you're sitting that bad boy and just letting it ride out, and you're taking the drawdowns, and you're rolling out and hitting targets.
Dude, like when it does these big like consolidations like this, I will sit on them sometimes a little bit longer. But I will tell you, like in this entire trend here, I've been doing more day trading and scalping than I probably had in like this entire last like year and a half. Because this has just been so volatile, dude. It's just been giving so much daily opportunity with this volatility. But back here, man, yeah, like some of these trades, like if I was grabbing a low, you know, I was holding it like a week, sometimes 2 weeks to get it to the top of the range. And then if I flipped, it was the same thing, man. You would hold it for like a week, 2 weeks to get back to the bottom. So some of these were long holds. Same up here. Recently, less so. Recently, dude, I'm doing way more scalping than I ever thought I would do. Just right here recently, you know.
It's so, like, the nail in the coffin for me, dude, was that $19 billion liquidation, Rick. I really prided myself on my community by saying, guys, this is why we're not sitting in these trades during this. Volatility is high. Institutions are involved. It is, I mean, dude, Hyperliquid was a major random player that came in out of nowhere. I mean, out of that $19 billion of liquidations, Hyperliquid was 9 of it. And that kind of sealed my deal, where I'm like, you know what, dude, unless Bitcoin gets down to like 68 G's, dude, 72 G's, I'll sit in that trade for fucking 6 months. Do you know what I mean? And let it ride. But anything inside of this mid chop, I just feel like, dude, especially after witnessing today's 6% pump, 6% retracement, I'm like, you know what? I'm telling the Coliseum and the cranksters and guys, this is a scalping market right now.
It has been. Yeah, it absolutely has been.
It is very rough right now to sit in these trades. Unless you're losing. And again, it all comes down. That's my problem, man, is position size. If I start taking massive drawdowns, dude, and I know sometimes, like I had a good trade, man, in November. I think I had a little over 30-40 grand, dude, at only 3x leverage. November 5th hits, Donald Trump gets the presidency, and boom, within 30 days, dude, we're cooking, baby. It was on, and I was so happy. And dude, it was $100,000 trade. And you want to know what happened, Vince?
Congrats, dude.
Yeah, you ready? Here's the fucked up part. January fucking 19th, when that dude started talking, I lost it all from January 19th, dude, to like February 20th, brother. I lost all of it. And I'm like,
Damn.
okay. I'm not, the Bitcoin reserves,
No.
all of these promising things. You know what I got, dude, was fuck you, China. Fuck you, everybody else. We're tariffing 300%. My swing trades went to shit, and I said, okay, let me start adjusting real damn quick on what could possibly I could be looking for. And I told myself, you know what? Momentum's good, but dude, I could not be sitting in these trades. And as we continue through the year of 25, I felt, dude, I wish that we could see a I was so mad in 2020, or I was so mad that I said, dude, give me back to 2021. Give me a Kamala and a Gensler. give me some inside trading, because I can't believe I just gave all the whole bag back.
Damn.
And obviously, throughout the year we've quadrupled that, but it's just environment changes, man. And I, as a seasoned trader, I'd like to know. I teach the environment changes and what we need to be looking for, and not keeping a bias on bullish news or bearish news, stepping away from the market so that way we can see this, what we're getting ready to trade. We could see clearly. And I'd like your take on that, man, as a seasoned trader, about environment changes, because I was talking to Crypto Face. Well, he said on his thing, on his stream, that these environment changes are key, man. We could have one killer week, and that doesn't mean that tomorrow is going to be identical. This market is very volatile. It flips. So give us a take, man, as a seasoned trader, on the environment changes.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I think you're probably more seasoned than me, to be honest. But yeah, dude, like I'm a stubborn guy. I think for me, like one of the main things that really causes me to kind of take a step back is if you start hitting your head against the wall too many times, and you're like, all right, something's not working here. Usually that's like a reason for pause for me. But yeah, like this is why
have
I
you
lean
been
into
able
the.
to catch that? How long have you been trading, Bits, if you don't mind me asking, man?
So like I guess at a like more full-time capacity, I guess, if you could call it that. Going on, what is it now? I'd say from probably about 21 forward.
Perfect.
So what is that
4
now?
years, 4
Yeah,
solid
4
years.
years. Yep. And
Perfect, dude. So yeah, I've been traded about 8 years, but only 4 years profitable. On and off, on and off, on and off. And then I said, dude, there's only one way to do this. There's a set of rules, just like we've been talking the last few. And so with your journey, dude, and these environment changes, when you're saying that you're knocking your head, again, the rule has been the last 2 days is do not interfere with the process. When you're knocking your head on what's going wrong, walk us through that, dude, because again, your TA's on point. You're knocking some trades down, brother.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear about some of the problems that we have to go through, that I have to tell my community. I tell the internet now that I'm becoming an influencer. And when we go through these environment changes, not only just from what we're seeing, the TA, but psychologically, what we have to do, or we have to step away, or we battle through it and we make the adjustments.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Hit me, bro. What do you got?
Yeah, like for me, one of the key things I look at, man, is like I've got like my bread and butter setup. So for example, like let's use Solana, because Solana is actually like a really clean example of this right now, and I'm hoping it sets up, and it might not, but I'm hoping it does. So I like when you get this like really clear range here, that price is just like bouncing back and forth, right? Just super clean. Like you can spot this. You don't have to draw a lot of stuff to really see this. Like it just jumps out at you. You could see this right here very clearly. I love to play these with the trap move or the sweep in either direction, right? So whether, for example, there was some short opportunities up here, but really like even these are not what I typically like to take. The reason for that is you know, and you may have heard me talk about this, but even down here, I usually like the big violent moves, man. Like my preferred setup would be down here, a full like washout of anything below here. Just like beyond a shadow of a doubt, this thing needs to just clean house here and just take anyone who's possibly long from any of this out of position. And it just hasn't given that. Same to the upside. It's had a couple moves where it takes out, takes out the highs, but it's been these little baby moves, right? It's not been a lot. It's not been on volume. The reason like you see these like multicolored candles, this is just like PVSRA candles. I got it on the volume bars. I've got it on the candles themselves, but it's like these solid greens and solid red, man, those are like the highest volume moves that's happening here. So those are like worth paying attention to. And up here, like even though you're getting some high volume pushes up into the top of the range, you're not really getting like those big monster moves that then slap back into the range massively and then just put all these guys on the wrong side, right? We're just not seeing it yet. So those are the things that like I'm looking at where you define a range and you're like, okay, if this comes up and it sweeps the previous high, I'm going to take a short here because it took that out. And this is played out, but it hasn't been like on high volume, man. It hasn't been those like super fast moves for me. So it's required me to say, okay, whatever Solana is doing here, like there is volatility. There are trades that we've been able to take here, but I've been a little bit more strict on like the risk and the way I'm willing to size into these, as opposed to like I would, for example, if tonight we were to get a big move down that comes down, it's obvious, it's on high volume, you get some big candles like this on that move too, and then right after that you get some big green ones like this, like right here right after that, just like engulfing that, right? So just a big reclaim. If we were to get something like that, man, that to me would scream confidence of like, okay, this is that trade I was waiting for. It took out all the lows on volume with some speed. Buyers stepped in a big way. Volume is confirming the entire move. It's down here below the value area of the volume profile. It took out all previous lows to the left. It's in my high time frame zone that I'm looking for bounces. Like you just start to see all that set up, right? And then, maybe I get some positive divergence down here on RSI, like just to top it all off. If I get that, I would take that, right? But I haven't seen it, bro. So I've been like just having to wait. And there were some moments where on some of these other pairs, not on Soul's been too clean, but like Sui's been an example of one where, I've like tried to jump the gun a little bit thinking like, all right, this is it. And then it just wouldn't go, man. It just didn't have the follow through. And so those are those examples of where like, you've got a setup, but it just doesn't follow through. It just doesn't go. Here, for example, right? Like you had nice clean floor. We were watching for that big move down, and then just something's up with Sui. Buyers didn't step back in and take it up like they normally would have. Instead it broke down, and it's been weak. So
I'd like to. I'll show you real quick. Let's look at. I have the exact same levels, man, but I'm looking for a deeper flush on Solana. Multiple times. Anytime we come down, dude, if Solana truly breaks this $100, dude, then this thing's gonna be in some trouble. But
it'll be toast.
It'll be toast. But multiple times, other than just this one, dude. But this is a good play. I've been, when I did that stream today, I was saying this is a good. There's a lot of meat on the bone, even just to get us back to where we're at as a 10, 20. I mean, Jiminy Christmas, just to get back to 160, which is cake. Is a 50% trade. But I think you're right, man. When we see these liquidity sweeps, and it's almost too perfect, dude. We're at the base right now for this thing to. It's almost. I would probably say 80% chance, dude, that we're gonna bust this and at least grab it.
I think so.
How long have we been ranging on this here? Yeah, we've been going on a month, dude, holding this range.
A few weeks, I think.
Yeah, almost a month on these. And then I've been trading just real quick, guys, jumped into I popped open a little for these streams, a little prop account. This morning it was at 50 G's, dude. We're up almost $3,000 on it. It's 100% payout with client funding. I don't know if you deal. Dude, this is my first year. I normally trade with I trade with all of my own capital. But I said, you know what, dude, let's grab a couple of prop accounts. So I grabbed a 200K, a 50K, and another 100K. And it took me about 3 months to bust all of these suckers loose. Do you use any of these prop accounts, dude? Are you a fan of them?
The only one I've used in the past on the crypto side has been Breakout, but I haven't used it recently. I'm like you. I've just been trading my own capital. But yes, I'm not gonna lie, man. Seeing I think it's Groper, right? That's been doing a lot of like prop trading. Yeah, I've kind of been like feeling the itch of like, man, maybe I should go over there and grab some of those challenges and see if we can get an account.
On my main accounts, dude, I'm trading here. My partners with zoomex. I trade here on the prop accounts, dude. It's pretty crazy, man. I'm telling you, this is called an instant pro.
Okay.
It was $1,200, right?
Okay.
And it's 90, 10 payouts.
Oh wow.
And there's no stability rules. There's nothing like. I also have I have a $100,000 breakout count that I finished last week on a 2-step, and client funding, dude, on this, dude, it was $1,200, $50,000 account, drawdowns 3%, daily, 6% max, but
that's not bad.
No, it's not bad, dude. So if you're gonna get interested, I have some, I don't know if you have friends that have discount codes, dude, but I'm getting into it. I know my community, dude, people don't that are just getting started, bro, are trying to find a way.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, this is probably my first cycle where I'm seeing a heat map and I'm seeing these prop firms going fucking buck wild. Yeah. Dude, if it ain't the whales on Hyperliquid taking your fucking money, it's the prop accounts, dude. Yeah. And just to let the whole community know, guys, only 1%, only 1% of prop accounts get funded. It is very tough. There's a lot of rules you're playing with. And I'd like to just show you guys here. I'll bust this out actually here. But yeah, we could see on the, let's see if I have this popped up here. Yeah, on the prop accounts, guys, it's pretty easy here.
Yeah, I've never heard of this one, Klein. Are they pretty new or?
Oh yeah, dude, the cool part is, brother, on client funding, they're partnered with Bybit. Okay, so you're going to be using a demo account, dude. You get to use this is very simple. We got all the trades here. Look, dude, I started this account literally today, so that way I didn't have to, as for entertainment purposes, brother. I mean, I could piss away $1,200 and we can entertain everybody on a fucking prop account. You know what I mean? But dude, all the trades here, you get your max drawdowns, 3%, 90% payout. There's no stability score. It's a little fucked up. I have to do a quick video on what a stability score is, dude. You cannot spend $1,500 to $2,000 and just 100x leverage and try to pass the account. You have to layer in and layer out of trades. On my 200K account, you cannot make more than $8,400 a day. If you go and smack, a $20,000 trade, dude, you're not going to get paid out because you got to maintain a 30% stability score, which means that you would actually have to bring the account to 290. If you made 20, 30 grand in a day, you got to on 200 grand, you got to bring that account to 290,000 to withdraw the whole 90. Because if you took 30 grand, do you see what I'm saying? 30%.
Yeah.
And but anyways, yeah, if you want to get into this, dude.
Does this one have like a time limitation where I know like
there is no time limits, brother?
Yeah. Okay.
It is on your time. The cool part is you can come right over here. Again, it's towards the end of the night, to be honest with you. I should probably just close this trade. We're up almost, $3,000 on this thing, 24.35. Let's just close it on up. We'll just make a little bit more here. Bang, bang.
Nice.
And again, it'll walk you through everything, dude. It'll walk you through everything on these prop accounts. I wasn't sure, again, if you're trading with your own money, these client accounts, dude, are pretty crazy. Breakout prop is pretty awesome, but the drawdown is horrible. 1, 2, 3%, dude, on 100 G's is fucking nothing. You know what I mean? You need to let somebody, especially for your style of trading, it could be pretty brutal if you can't let
gotta let it breathe.
Yeah, you gotta let it breathe, dude. Is there anything else, man, you wanna go over? It's been awesome talking to you, Bits. We need
Dude,
to
it's
do
been
this.
fun, man. Yeah, just hanging with you.
We need to do this more. When I'm doing these, scalp and chills, I'm normally live trading over an hour or two, dude. I'm looking for Bitcoin, and I'll just kind of walk you through my quick strategy here. So even if we're using a 1 to 10 minute, all right, on a 10-minute, we could see here that Bitcoin has just a clear little support. You know what I mean? Just kind of just bouncing up here. Now, when we came down to this little support right here, and it came down, we started sideways trading. This is exactly why I took this this trade right here on Hyperliquid. And so when we came down to this support right in here, we touched this multiple times. I took this trade on that one that we just closed out. This thing pops up, this thing pops up, boom, we have ourselves a decent trade. Now here, Bitcoin's only popping up 1.2%. But if we look here at Hyperliquid, very similar, but these things move much faster than Bitcoin. But that's how I take my trades, man. Between the 1, 10, 20 minute, and this is how I take my scalps, dude. I hardly ever take trades on Bitcoin. I will always take the altcoin trades. I try to find multiple. I only trade really about 5 assets, and the reason being is I tell everybody the less you're looking at, the more focused you're going to be on what you are looking at.
I agree with that.
You know what I mean? And so again, we could see just a clear little support, just kind of just bouncing around here. And then I'm just watching Bitcoin, dude. As we're coming in, same thing with Bitcoin. I'm taking these trades on the altcoin, but it's much easier to see when Bitcoin makes its pump than the altcoin. Right. I know for sure that I know for certain almost, man, that if I have these that are candled up, I mean, 80, 90%, if I was to look at these two charts and I said, hey, which one's Bitcoin, which Ethereum, you wouldn't fucking know on a 10-minute. They look identical.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I would say when Bitcoin starts doing this and we get this slight pause in here, I'm taking these trades, dude, on this trend line. I'm taking these trades and that's.
So you're just using BTC as like your signal.
That is it.
Yeah.
That's all I teach, dude. That's just why I called it the radical, the CryptoCrank radical scalp method, dude. Bitcoin is my signal. I could even go up to it. And some people are like, Crank, what are you looking at? What time frame? I'm like, dude, just on a 1 minute, a 10-minute, you're just shortening up the candles. On a 20-minute, you're just shortening up the candles even more, dude. But this is my bread and butter. Yeah, this is my bread and butter, brother. This is exactly how I trade right here. That if we just looked at this, you could see it's clear. It's clear as day on how to take these trades. But normally, when Bitcoin's doing its thing, dude, if this is a 1%, you're gonna catch a 2-3%, and with anywhere between 3 and 10x leverage, dude.
Yeah, you got like a multiple on the alt, right?
Multiple, and for risk management, it is very clear to know where the stop is going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's real simple that if we break down from this, obviously it's going to try to take out this. It's going to try to take out this. So if we do take these altcoin trades, it's very easy to know where these stops should be, and it's a pretty clear strategy for the radical scalp method. And this is what's made me, dude, and what I tell my community, I'll tell your community, guys, things get really, really fun when you start withdrawing from the exchange. Most people in their trading careers, they don't get to make it to where they withdraw, dude. You're either you're blowing an account, you just keep growing it, but things get really fun when you start to withdraw. And I would say, guys, that using any of these strategies for the liquidity that Bits is talking about, or my radical scalp method. What was I gonna say? I was just gonna say, dude, you guys got to be just adamant on sticking to the plan, and do not interfere with the plan. I do not move my stops, bro, when I take these things. And the other thing I was gonna say was about position size, man. I always tell everybody, don't be discouraged whether you're trading with $100, a couple $100,000, 10,000, 5,000. you know, the strategy works the exact same way for both mine and your strategies, man. Just stick to it. But cool, man. I don't know if you want to stick around and see if we catch another trade. I know you did. This is your 5th stream for the day. You're a monster.
Yeah, man.
Monster, bro. I'm glad you came on with me, brother. I really am.
I'm glad you're invited, man. Yeah, I'm glad you're invited, man. I'm just hanging out, man. Just in the evenings, I'm watching charts anyways. I try and get most of like the spaces and the streams and that like collaborative type stuff in the mornings. And then the evenings is kind of where I'm just chilling, like waiting to take some trades, and just kind of hanging out. So
I do also say, man, that between 7:30 now, every single morning, if we were to look at every single morning from market open to about 11 o'clock, we dump. We've been dumping. My bread and butter, dude, literally the last 2 weeks has been 7:30 to 11 o'clock at night. And the reason being is we're actually getting this. We're actually getting some sideways range action. We're actually getting some sideways range action. We're not in the middle of this throughout the day where, you know, this is, dude, we're trying to catch a knife. Where's the bottom gonna be? You know, we finally came down, we've bottomed, and now look, this is what I tell my community, dude, is this is what we want. Especially if you're going to scalp, just a solid range where we can mimic our altcoins to Bitcoin and we can kick some ass and annihilate the range until we get
something
stopped
changes
out, until it busts down. Do you know what I mean? Or busts up, or again on the short side, you know, you take those shorts, you would actually have if we cleaned all of this up, even on the shorts right here, you know, you take the short here, you take the short here, you'd have 2 good trades. The one time it actually breaks out, you'd be 2-1. Killer. Would have actually knocked it out of the park. So
yeah, cool, no, looks solid, man. Looks like a good little like repeatable strategy. And that's where I found is like the thing that's worked for me, man, and finally started to, you know, put some money back in my account instead of just, you know, pulling from the wallet over and over, was just finding something simple, dude. Like I've just found that, like, if you can't simplify your strategy to something just very like basic, common sense, doesn't need to have all the fancy technical terms. It just needs to be like my strategy for I needed to form a range, clean highs, clean lows, and then I needed to sweep in either direction of those. I just want a nice flush to the downside or a nice trap pump up, and then I wait for that thing to revert, and then I get in on that move back into the range and across the range, and that's it, you know. And sometimes it's a little slower, sometimes it's like a big violent move like it was this morning. Like, those are things I can't control. I just control the entry and where the stop goes, and that's it, bro. You know. So we'll see if Sol sets it up, man. I was looking at the Sol weekly chart. It's not that different from what you had, man. I think we both have kind of like this big zone here for.
It's identical, dude.
For like a support,
just one little sweep, just one little sweep of that, and
this is all built on the volume, man. Like you can see here, like this is why I'm watching this so bad here. Is like this is where it's got that big, deep move into the volume.
Yeah, throw that big C right there. I'd say that gap right there, dude. Is it's very clear where it's going. Go to the top of that candle on the next wave down. Go up, 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 up. Just
up here? Yeah.
No, down right.
Oh, you're talking down here? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Like you've got that right
there, and then right above that.
Here. And then
right here. That one right there. That's where it's going, dude. Which is 100%. What 119s, 112s.
Yeah,
really, if we flush down to one, I mean, to be honest with you, $100,000 to get everybody scared, dude. Throw a 9 on there. 99 or something.
Yeah, dude, these volume gaps are like they're once you understand them, it's funny how price moves between them, dude. But it's like I like to illustrate it as like if you had like a ball, and if you were, you know, oh shoot, how do I make this smaller? There we go. If you were to kick a ball from like down here, where is it going to hit the ceiling, right? And it's like it hit there, and then if it came back down, it hit here, right? So you kind of can find like what this range is going to be if you're moving between that. But Yeah, once it gets moving through them, though, if you get some speed, it will just like completely melt through this shit. It'll go through that one, and then sometimes potentially even come
That
here. So
160 though, I'm looking at your screen, is a behemoth, huh?
that's
I mean,
a
we
big one,
can
bro.
back
Yeah.
you. That's a big one right up on top of there, but we can get
Yeah.
vacuum sucked right back up to that 175 if we break it.
Yeah. This one I've been treating it like a pivot, dude. So like every time if we're below it, right? So from all of these lows, this has been a big TP for me. So if I've gotten into any kind of longs down here, this is where I TP heavily, right? And then I leave a runner in case it gets up here to like this 190, 200. Sometimes it does. A lot of times it doesn't. You can see a lot of times where it was like boom, back down, boom, back down, boom, back down, right? And then when you're above that 160, I've just been treating it the same way. Like if you're above it and you're happening to catch a short, same thing. It's like this is where I try and reduce that size on that position. But and then this 190, 200, man, I've for a long time I just kind of treated it as like that's the max, because there's been a couple times where it's been above it, but outside of that, it's like this has been like a hard ceiling a lot for Solana. So but yeah, this has been the three main levels for Sol, man. It's like 200, 160, and then 120. It's all I've really focused on.
What about assets for spot bags? Do you participate? So me, I talk a lot of shit with other channels, dude, about some of these newer upcoming tokens and utility and all this shit. Me personally, dude, I've been fried so many times on narratives that I ain't fucking with it anymore. So my portfolio bags consist of literally Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, Solana, and AVAX. I don't really have.
I agree with that, dude. I think that we're seeing more and more that outside of like some of those key majors, everything else, dude, is just a casino play. And I mean, it's kind of not surprised, right? Like if you think of it as tech, technology moves fast, man. Like the phone that's cutting edge today is, like next month there's a phone that's twice as fast as it, right? So it's no different with software. And that's kind of how I think of this stuff. It's like software. It's a program. Someone writes a better program next year, and then the one you currently have is probably irrelevant, or it's not the top dog anymore. So yeah, I'm pretty light on spot holdings. Dude, I've been playing a lot of like I don't know if you do like TradFi stuff, but dude, I played a lot of like these silver miners because gold was on a tear, right? So I was waiting for like a silver catch-up trade. Dude, I played a lot of these like silver miners, bro, from like down here.
You want to know what's crazy, bro? I've never traded.
These.
Everyone trips out, bro. Like when I talk to a handful of other traders, dude, they're like, "Yo, Crank, dude, you'd kill it in the stock market." And I'm like,
dude, you would.
I've never. They're like, it's so much easier, and I'm like, dude, I've tried getting on Ninja Trader. I'm like, dude, where's my leverage bar at? Where's my And they're like, Crank, you're a gangster, bro. What do you mean? Where's your leverage bar? I'm like, bro, where I just want to put it in. It's real. I want to, like, if I had to show you guys, let me just show you. It's real simple. I want my leverage bar here. I want to be able to adjust it, slap it in, throw in my amounts, and bang, 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 catch my trades. Being able to do this, and it's been tough with me. Like, dude, it took me 2 tries on breakout to pass, because they don't on breakout prop, dude. They don't. It's much different. They work in pips, and they work in the amount of crypto, and it's like a like a stock brokerage,
like a TradFi thing. Yeah,
like a TradFi thing, dude. I've never done it, man. I've wanted to purchase now. Robinhood, I wouldn't consider trading, dude, because the way you put the options and puts is very stupid, because it's months away on the futures. That I had to learn that as well, dude, that I trade futures every single day, but it's like perpetual futures over there.
No expiry.
Well, dude, over on TradeFi, it's like, what do you mean I don't get paid out for a month? I got to wait for the price to find out if it's going to hit that or not. I'm like, I was listening to Landy, and Landy's super smart, and I feel stupid, but I'm like, bro, I wouldn't trade for what I do for anything else. I'm going to continue to learn, but I've never traded stocks, bro. Crypto's been my poison, and once I got it down, I haven't turned back.
I hadn't touched like a lot of the TradFi stuff until this year. And it was really these silver miners, bro. They were kind of like altcoins. Like everyone was talking about like the Bitcoin miners and stuff like that. But these silver, let me show you this one. This one was wild, bro. Highcroft Mining, right? So this company, dude. And I use the same technique. Like I pulled up the VRVP. I tried to find like what these zones were and all that stuff. But dude, I took a
trade
position.
this real quick, bro? You know what I mean? And is it simple to be able to enter in? And do you need? I think the last time I was looking at Charles Schwab and stuff, and they needed 25 grand in a trading account, and then another.
That's what I'm using. Yeah, I'm on Schwab, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on Schwab.
Okay.
I'm using the Thinkorswim.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm using their Thinkorswim software. So it's, you can kind of customize it. It lets you do a lot. But yeah, it's a little different, bro. You don't have like all the crazy leverage stuff. But you just treat these kind of like just buy and spot, dude, and you can kill it, bro. I this trade here, this Highcroft was one of the big ones, bro, where I waited for this big move, kind of like what we got on BTC today, right? Like doesn't that like similar? And then and then
100% retrace,
dude. It built a little base right here, right? And I just waited for that sweep here, dude. I bought in on this sucker here. I sold it all here. I sold way too early, and it kept going. I thought it was going to roll over and give me like a retest here, and then I would have re-entered. It just kept going, bro. But this thing was massive, bro. I mean, like, look at this on a stock, bro, like 200%, man.
So my other question, dude, because I use leverage on those stock brokerage accounts, dude.
Yeah.
Is it a 1-for-1? Is it or are you allowed to use leverage? Is there
no like some of the stuff like this is just 1-for-1, right? Because you're just buying the actual stock, so you just buy however many shares you're getting of it or whatever. But yeah, you can enable like on if you're using Schwab, you can enable options on there. I think they got like limited futures on there. You're better off with NinjaTrader for that. But there are some things like, for example, if you want to play Circle, for example, but you wanted like a leverage version of that. I think this one here's a 2x long. So basically you buy it like it's a 1-for-1, but it's already 2x levered up.
Is that how they have multiple different tickers, dude? Dude,
it's wild.
It is wild. This is over my head.
I'm still learning this stuff, bro. I'm still learning like the TradFi side. Because what's funny is I first like started investing in all this stuff when I was working, right? Because you get the 401k and you can contribute and all that stuff. And when I first started doing that, and this was in my early 20s, bro. I'm a 40-year-old man, but I started doing that in my early 20s. And I was one of those guys that was constantly looking at where's my money? Is it going up or is it going down? What is it in, and can I move it somewhere? So I was always the guy that was like fidgeting with it and transferring it from one managed fund to another one. It's always just been my personality, bro. Like and I think that when I found trading later on, I already kind of understood that, there's different, there's large cap, mid cap, small cap. There's like international things. There's, I just kind of knew that some of that already existed. But I hadn't touched it, man. I went crypto, and crypto just consumed me, dude. I was just obsessed with crypto for the longest time. And just this last couple of years, just with seeing like what equities are doing, seeing what gold and silver started doing, I said, all right, it's time to turn that back on, get a little bit more aggressive. So fired up the Schwab account and have been playing around on that side. But dude, I like Landy, Nat, like those people know so much more. I'm the dumbest person on that panel by far, bro.
Dude, I feel like I am too, dude. I gotta be honest with you, not to be a little cocky fuck, but I'm all proud of my P&Ls making, $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 a day. And then I listen to them and I feel stupid. I'm like, bro, I have no idea what these guys are saying, but are you guys like making money? And the only thing I can think of, dude, that's all I can think of.
Nat is a beast, dude. Nat.
She's gotta be,
dude.
And you know what, dude, I tell you what, those foreign people, dude, they got a much different outlook on making money than I do. That's for goddamn sure. I like nice shit, dude, and they don't spend it like that. They make some money and they actually hold on to it. So I applaud it, dude. I really do. Like, super, 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 super cool, dude. But yeah, I feel like
that's been awesome to learn from them, dude. Yeah, I feel like every time I get on that thing, I learn something from Landy or Nat or Calvin or one of those people that's up there. They've always got some kind of alpha, man. So I'm just a student, dude. I just remained a student.
Yo, go ahead. Yeah. We'll do a shout out to everybody and let them know what we're talking about. But you're a student. Go ahead, dude.
No, I'm good, bro. I was just saying, I'm just a student, man. I'm just always trying to learn.
Yeah, me too, dude. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, we are part of a Spaces on X, and it's Wolf Bitcoin. And this young kid, Cade, is on fire with the interviews. He's bringing multiple traders together. He's putting a platform together, guys, to get real honest opinions for people that are in the trenches and that are actually trading, people that he trusts, people that are making it happen, showing you the real life truths. And there's a handful of traders that are in there. If you guys get the opportunity to check out the Spaces, I'm sure we're going to be doing a couple more this week. I'll be submitting them to you guys in my community. But there's this girl named Nat. There's a dude named Landy, another guy named Calvin, and guys, there's even this dude named North Star. He's got a few 100,000 people in this.
Is crazy,
bro. This dude's got. I was dying to tell him. I said, bro, I've been looking at silver. Silver's getting ready to hit a parabolic. Dude, it's gonna do exactly the way silver or gold did at $2,000, dude. When Credit Suisse went down, the slingshot engage, baby. That fucker, dude. It's not, dude. I got targets of $5,500 to $6,000 for gold. I think in the next coming weeks, we're going to see silver probably touch, dude, between 75 and 90. Just real quick, I have a quick analysis on I have a quick analysis on silver, and it's very similar to gold, but we're barely entering. This is not a top, you guys. This is not a top. All right. I think that silver is getting ready to hit its parabola. And if we were to compare this to XAU, and we did the same thing, I would say that silver is barely right here. From the large accumulation, okay, to the breakout, large accumulation right here, guys, just like this. We're just getting started. I think that silver is getting ready to. I think it's going to top, dude, between 75 and $90. But this is not a top.
Yeah, it's like where gold was when it was breaking the 2,000, right? Like getting just slightly above that, like 2,500 or something.
I actually went to gold per ounce here. Let's see, ounce. Yeah, if we went down to 2,000, this is it right here. This is not a top. Yeah. Where we do these large accumulations here at $2,000. We barely kind of have this little run right here, dude. Gold is getting ready to see its parabola. It's for sure. This is not a top for silver. Again, 75 to $90. If we looked at all the way back, we've already busted through all-time highs. Again, it looks crazy right now, guys, but if we looked the same way as gold, it's not that crazy. Literally, silver is just barely right here. If you guys were to see all of the all-time highs, every time it busted out was right here. And we compared that to silver, we're just getting started, dude. That's
that yellow line right there. Huh?
Yeah, this yellow line right here is going to be for silver on its all-time high. Yeah. But if we look at gold on the bottom, dude, we barely hit the all-time high. We're barely just, again, if we compare these two, I would say we're barely on just that. Dude, we're barely going to get our first pullback. And then she's off to the dude. This thing, I could just picture it. This thing is going to come straight up to $90, bro. This isn't a blow off top. And again, guys, if you guys don't know what a blow off top is, let me show you what a proper blow off top is. I'll show you our boy Zcash real quick.
This is the perfect picture.
Zcash has a Zcash. Let me just clean all this up. Yeah. Let's just go to a daily. This is a blow off top. That candle right there, you guys, is an excellent example. You can see here how we just kind of ripped. That's a blow off top. None of these little babies. None of this. None of this. I'm talking this ugly fucker right here. That's a blow off top. How do you feel about Zcash, man? I know that in the spaces we're talking about it. I gotta say another thing too, dude. I am shocked that so many of those traders touch these dog shit coins.
Because they move fast, bro. They move fast. If you can
I
get on the right
trust
side
me.
of
I
it,
know
they
I've
move
lost
fast.
a lot of goddamn money, and I ain't never had. I mean, dude, that one lady trader or the other ones are like, and she talks real soft. She's like she just got out of goddamn bed, and it's midday. And she's awesome. She's awesome because she's like, yeah, jelly is it's a bit.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. It's shoot, I can't think of her name right now.
Bro, I'm like, you just rolled out of bed, decided just to, you know, just dude, you sound like you want to blow off bit. Dude, who's this kid, Crypto King, dude?
Lisa is who you're talking about. Lisa's who
Yeah,
you're
I'm talking about Lisa.
Yeah.
Let's read some of these. Dude, I got a mouth on me when I talk. I'm gonna listen to this fag real quick right here. Let's see here. We got Kid, Crypto King. He sounds like you want to blow off bits. Suck his pecker. Gay lovers.
Jeez.
This dude's hating, brother. He's getting after me right now. Dude, Bits is a good trader, bro. I'd surround yourself with a lot of other people that know what the fuck they're doing, dude, because you sound like baby bags right now, bro. I don't have baby bags. I show you everything that I got. Anyways, yeah, dude, Lisa, she comes over here, dude, into these trades, and she's like, dude, her and who's the other one that catches those? It's
OTG, man. That dude's wild.
OTG, and I'm like, bro, how are you catching these?
I don't know, bro.
Shit?
That guy's crazy, man. That's outside of my ability.
Dude, these are dog shit coins. I mean, I saw this one house or whatever, and when we look at this, I mean, dude, this is out of dude. Who the fuck wants to trade this? This is even worse than Bitcoin. We're talking ranges of, 34% dumps, 34%, 50% pumps. Like, there's just no way, dude. And these guys are talking about making money and how they've just been printing. How the fuck do they even know when to short these things? I mean, I couldn't.
I think they stay up, dude. I think they just stay up and like stock it until it's ready.
Straight up night owls, man. Straight up night owls. You know what I mean? Now I can see something like that. You know what I mean? Now that we're kind of creating.
Pippin is one that I'm kind of stalking right now. Pippin, watch, go look at Pippin.
Yeah, that's the other one, dude. They were just talking about this thing, and
it's been running like just up like crazy, right?
Oh, and, yeah, dude. If she cooks here, dude, it's a vacuum suck straight up, dude. To again talk about those right up.
Yeah,
I'm looking at that too. It's in a solid range. If you were to look at it, for sure, we could say that from the bottom here, top, excellent range. And I bet you this has got to be something stupid. This has got to be probably a 15% range, 10-15% if I had to guess. Yeah, dude, look at this. It's a 14% range to trade, guys. Be very careful trading these coins. I don't trade them. I mean, I have, but dude, I only use $300-400. I mean, you can't really put size on these bad boys. You know what I'm saying? You can't. And who the fuck would?
Yeah, you gotta be careful. I'd
like to know what these guys are trading with, bro, because I'd like to know, hey, are you throwing, because the moves are so violent, like $200 to $500 and you're making 1,000 on a move like this, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Or are you throwing some size at this thing? Because if these dudes are throwing some size, I gotta tell them they're the baddest dudes ever. This shit's out of hand.
It's crazy.
You're looking at Pippin, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, it really hasn't.
It's just volatile, man. It makes big swings up and down. At some point, I want the breakdown. At some point, I think it needs to still have like a big blow off, but there's an argument to be made that maybe that was it. But
this candle,
this
blow off top
candle, but it's had a couple big wicks to the upside, and it just keeps going.
I tell you what, I bet you if you probably went about 5% back of this bad boy, dude, and shorted it here, you might actually catch it, and it'd be something very equivalent to this right here. If you caught that, dude, and the guys from here on this candle back down, these are stupid, juicy trades. Dude, we have almost 300 people liking, guys. If you guys could just follow both of us, we're trying to put out the content for you guys and give you preparation for when price action comes to us. There's a lot of different strategies out there, and a lot of them work if you can find it in yourself to be disciplined, to follow through. Do not interfere. Do not interfere with the plan, man. Don't interfere with the structure of the trades, man. You guys are going to lose a lot of money.
Yeah.
Here, I'll
Yeah,
leave it to you,
patience is
brother.
the
If you
problem.
want to pull up your chart again, I don't know.
No,
if
I'm
gonna
actually gonna
take-
jump, bro. I'm gonna jump and chill out for the rest of the night. But dude, it's been fun, man. I appreciate you inviting me on and getting me here with your community and stuff, bro.
Yeah, thanks for getting me on your community. Let's do it again, dude. And
Yeah,
I
let's
think
collab
next
some more,
time
man.
let's maybe jump on and we'll just hit it right away and start hunting for a
Let's
do
do
you
it.
ever, so let me ask you another question dude, before you
Hmm.
bounce. Do you ever do radical scalping?
Not your method, but I've been trading with Lady Traders community, and she does something similar, but she's using the 13 EMA, and I'd use the 21 EMA, but it's a similar
Mhm.
strategy. You're kind of just looking for a nice clean range that you can trade, and then you're looking for those like EMA crossovers. So if you get a close above the EMA, and if it's like at the bottom of the range, or if it's on a sweep, you get a big liquidity
Mhm.
sweep, and then it crosses over that 13 EMA, you usually can take a good trade, and you'll get at least a 1-to-1, but usually it's like a 2-to-1. Sometimes you get a little more, but
And she's doing this while she's live trading on the fly.
yeah, inside of her Telegram community. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, Bits. Well, dude, thank you so much for joining us, guys. Follow Bits. If you guys could follow me as well, we greatly appreciate it. And guys, we'll catch you out next time, man. Stay safe out there. And yeah, till next time, fam.